each their own, for sure, because you have your own circumstances and that kind of thing. But I think I might have mentioned, but go like finish it. But the most rewarding thing I've done yet was finishing my degree. I always knew I was capable of it, and it was a push to go back. But it's something that I have now. No matter what, nobody can take that away from me. And no matter what I do, I don't, I know that so much value was created from what I learned and the experience I had and the people that I met, but it doesn't mean like my GPA has never come up and it's never going to come up. It doesn't matter. A lot of the courses, even though I said I chose to see value, a lot of them don't matter. But no matter, right, I know that from here on out, I can get my master's, or I can apply for really any job that requires a degree, or it just means that doors are open rather than this thing that's held over me as a regret, or something I've never done. Like since you've already gone through so much of the process, just get it. There's no reason why you shouldn't just get it done. By all means, take time, but make sure you go back and finish it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Getting a degree these days is table stakes. It's like, it does not mean you have any competitive advantage over the thousands and thousands of others that have a degree, but it means that you have something and you can leverage that into greater things down the line always, rather than a work in progress. You can never claim that. You can never claim to have finished that. And a lot of times I think that's what the degree is the fact that then the world sees that you started something and you finished it and you committed to that kind of process. So if I could sway in any way, I would just say that like best thing I ever did was making sure I went back and completed that thing, and it's something I'm proud of, even though it's a degree from Mount Royal University.
Yeah.
But no, I'll always have that, right?
Cheers, yeah, because I know as us guys, us men, we always like it when things are done.
Yeah.
I like that feeling.
Yeah. It's complete.
I feel complete. Like when I take something off the to-do list.
Exactly.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What time is it?
4:30.
Oh yeah, I know we started at 3:50, so a couple last minute questions. Yeah. So if you could say you. What are the common issues that entrepreneurs are facing, and what do you think they could do to solve them? Common.
Broadly, I think it's access to knowledge, skills, and abilities that they don't have, and I think that there's a lot of different groups available right now. That's kind of why I'm interested in putting together like workshops on that full cycle. But it's not only developing the knowledge for themselves, but also like knowing the question, like first of all, what are the questions that they have to be asking themselves, and then what are the answers, or who are the people that they need to align. I think like I said, I think that entrepreneurs they have their vision and focus around a widget or a thing or an idea, and they may not necessarily have a lot of the acumen that goes along in supporting that. The other thing I'll say is that, again, just to tout the value of reading, I think that entrepreneurs should be consuming information all the time. I think that, maybe I'll ask you to keep this part off the record, but
sure.
You don't have to turn it off, but I'll just say, just because I went on a diatribe about how you should finish your degree, I actually think a lot of that knowledge is outdated by the time you get it. And so if somebody came to me and said I was going to go get another degree, I would say just read books. Like just the information is out there. What post-secondary gives you is the structure and the accountability. And if you can develop that in yourself, then you can consume knowledge, but you can tailor it to what you need. But the knowledge largely exists out there for entrepreneurs. I guess also it's like I think entrepreneurs need to value marketing more so than they do, and when they do, it's typically too late in the game or far past when they should have. But it's hard to want to invest marketing dollars in budget because it's almost seen as like outside the business or ancillary to the business. But you can have the best, most life-changing product or widget on the market, but if nobody knows about it, you might as well not even exist. There's that philosophical adage of if a tree falls in the woods, didn't really make any sense to me until I thought about it in a marketing context for entrepreneurs. If they're out there alone doing that thing and nobody knows, you might as well not even be in business about it. So I think entrepreneurs need marketing support.
Huh.
Yeah. And then always access to, and I think tied to that is because I would say business development, but access to funding and financing, I think, is a significant burden, because you're always, how do you scale a business if you don't have enough? Like, you need capacity building, that kind of thing. So there's a little bit of risk reward there. A colleague of mine here who is a leather worker took the risk to sign a lease to get into this big space for capacity building, and while in the short term it's going to hurt the pocketbook along the way, in the long term it means that she has the space to grow and thrive, and she wouldn't be able to scale up without that. So
yeah,
it's really important. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, a couple themes there. Yeah, capacity building, scale, marketing for sure, and then having the right advisors, so accounting, legal, finance, that kind of thing, that are business functions, but outside of like whatever it is to produce the widget or service.
Yeah. Could you go into more depth? I'm not clear about what capacity building is. I'm not sure.
Capacity building, by that I mean it's a broad term, but without, I guess, using an example to explain the definition, I can use myself as an example. If I'm only capable so many hours of a day to produce work and do business development and that kind of thing, but then I've reached my capacity. If I engage, so let's say that's 8 hours, that's light, let's say 10 hours, 12 hours. If I have 10 to 12 hours of work per day that I can put towards a project, that is my max capacity. If I invest in an employee, then I should have, in theory, doubled my available capacity at a cost, though, right? For the example of the leather worker, she was working in a 10 by 10 square foot space for, let's say, for argument's sake, $700 a month. So she had her space, but her capacity was quite small. She couldn't actually grow her business in terms of actual space outside of that. So she found that she was falling over herself with materials and supplies and couldn't stretch and grow and that kind of thing. By investing in a 1,400 square foot space, now she has the capacity to grow out her business. She doesn't have the business to fill that capacity yet, but she has increased her capacity for the opportunity to grow that business out. Does that make better sense?
Yeah, basically, just helping your resource grow.
Yeah. It's about recognizing what resources you have, what limits you have, and then providing investments in yourself or the business to increase your available resource. Yeah. And so capacity building is a broad term, but it really applies to any resource that you could think of within the business cycle.
Yeah. It's basically a good example would be like Apple having one factory instead of
exactly.
100 factories.
Yeah.
Okay.
They can't scale past, if they never invest in another factory, they can't scale past what that maximum output is for that one factory.
Yeah.
So their business, if you think of business at a high level, is stuck to that, right?
Yeah. That's their cap.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. I think we reached our 45-minute mark now, but